Hello?
Hello, have I reached the McCoys?
Yes?
Hello, this is Pastor John White. Can I speak to the man of the house or the woman of the house?
Actually, there is only the man here right now.
Okay, that'll be fine then.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, this is Pastor John White. You're the father, Mr. McCoy?
Yes, I am.
Your son his name is Connor, right?
hmm
I'm a pastor operating out of New York, and I noticed the article in the Catholic Voice, the Omaha Catholic Voice. I noticed he was recently in production of Oliver. I can't say that I saw it, but I heard he was quite good. Uh, I operate out of a church in New York, and I like to keep up with all the other parishes, keep up with all the other churches, keep the Catholic faith. But I looked up your son. I noticed he had a role, so I like to know about the children. And unfortunately, this call's about him. I googled his name on the internet, Connor McCoy, and something came up. It was quite strange. Are you familiar with the site DeviantArt?
Familiar with what?
DeviantArt. It's a website on the internet.
Yes, I am.
Your son, he has an account there. He posted his name on the internet, and I must say the content, DeviantArt. The name alone is conjures images. I mean, it's not that great. But your son, he has pictures of himself on the page, and they're of a somewhat disturbing nature. Have you seen the pictures before that he's drawn?
That he's drawn?
Yes, he's drawn pictures. He seems to have
Yeah, I've seen some of his pictures.
some of them are. You've seen some of them are quite quite a disturbing nature. Pictures of him. It's sad to say, eating other people. He's drawn himself as a little character, as a Ulrich the Hedgehog or something of that sort, and he has pictures of him eating other animals, not in the predatory sense, but they seem to be enjoying it. It's quite perverse in nature. It's troubling. It really is. Because it's a Catholic boy. I mean, everyone has to keep the faith, but these pictures, they're of a very devious nature. They're pictures of him covered in blood, with captions saying how this is what happens when people make fun of me. I don't know if he's being troubled, if someone perhaps has been making fun of him. I would ask him about this, because some of these pictures, they're really just quite disturbing. There's a picture called A Good Sibling. It's a picture of him. He seems to have he is a picture of himself, and there appears to be a girl inside his stomach, and the caption says, "Are you warm yet, sis?" And as if the implication that he's eaten his sister or something of that sort. It's just troubling. It really is, because he posts his name. This is all public. I didn't need to create an account on the website to view these pictures. I mean, they're right there with his name. They're photographs of him. Maybe perhaps his address. I don't know, but it's just really quite disturbing. I just wanted to make you aware to these things, because it's very troubling. And, we have to keep the faith. And your child, I would question him about these things. Not to question your parents, not to question your judgment, but these pictures, there's quite a perverse nature, quite disturbing. I fear he might be straying from the path. I don't know. It's quite disturbing. You still there?
No, I will check into it.
You can search for it if you have a computer. If you have a computer of your own, you can go into the Google and type in Ulrich the Hedgehog. You'll see and go onto the DeviantArt website. It'll be right next to his name, and you'll see his picture on there. He's taken photographs of himself with a book called the Death Note or something of that sort, which is in its own right disturbing. But it's for confirmation that it is Connor, and I just want to make sure that you were aware of these things, because they are quite disturbing. I'm sorry to interrupt your night like this, and I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I appreciate, if you sound like you're genuinely concerned. So no, I don't mind that you called. He's a good-natured boy. I think he's a little.
I'm sure he is.
He's what you might say naive, especially when it comes to the internet here,
yeah, because I've seen this before in boys.
He's got a funny sense of humor. He's not. I can see where you're coming from, and I'll talk to him about it.
Yes, I really hate this because I wouldn't question the parents.
He attempts to be funny, but it comes out wrong.
I see.
And it can be misconstrued, and I'm trying to point that out to him. Like I said, he's kind of naive, and he doesn't realize that his things can be misconstrued and taken bad. He's just trying to be funny because he wants to be a comedy writer. He wants to write comics and that kind of thing. So he's just trying to, stretch his wings, a little bit.
No, I understand completely. That's good for him. If he's pursuing a career in comedy, that's an admirable career. But it's all understandable. I wouldn't question him. I'm sure he's a great boy. I mean, there's just these pictures, though. It's just the artwork. I just thought you should be aware. I've had to call parents in the past. I've seen far worse things. The internet is a very troubling place. I've seen children, post far worse than this. So just keep your son, just remind him, of the Catholic way, and just remind him that, the internet's a very public place. People can, see the things he draws, And I would question him, because some of these pictures are about, people making fun of him, people, going after him, malicious attacks on him. I would advise him to, just because I've taught courses in this cyberbullying, as they call it, people on the internet insulting other users and stuff in that nature. And I've talked about this before with people. I've talked about it with children. And I'd say the best advice for him is just to ignore the people if they continue to make fun of him, not to encourage them by posting more pictures. The one titled Vampire Ulrich, where he's covered in blood, or Ulrich's Rage, I think it was actually, where he literally says, "This is what happens to people when they make fun of me," and he's just covered in blood. So I would remind him that that's not the way to handle the situation. Just to turn the other cheek, if you would.
Yeah, he's been a good Catholic boy. He's been, we went to Catholic grade school, and now he's going to a Jesuit high school, and so yeah, I'll remind him of those things.
All right, then. Thank you.
And
who?
I mean, you just a concerned citizen? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm Pastor John White, and I teach at the Church of St. Paul the Apostle in New York City. And I just, I came across him in the Catholic Voice, the Omaha Catholic Voice. I came across the article when he was in Oliver, and I was just checking up on the name, and it came up. So I thought you should be informed of this matter.
Oh, well, I sure appreciate that. No, I'll, my wife isn't home right now. When she gets home, we'll discuss this, and we'll, explore it, and we'll find out what's going on.
All right, that's good to hear. It's good to hear you handling this so well. All right, then have a good night, and God bless.
Well, no, thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.